Hello everybody, it's FRA ELITE aka Otis here, back with another video, and this is F1 Sim Racing Round 1, Event 1, Australia. We finally made it to the esports scene. I haven't made a video like this for a while. Last time was probably PCle, so been a while. I'm happy to be back making YouTube videos after the season now. You can see we're in Q1 at the moment. You know, great to be back on this. I was focusing a lot on esports and we couldn't really post any of the highlights during the season because there's something in the robot that doesn't allow us to. So yeah, I'm excited. I felt confident for this event. Going into Australia, felt pretty strong. So yeah, first Q1 lap, bit of a leg shake of course because it's the first I've ever done in F1 Submersion. So yeah, you can see our deltas on an interlap going into T1, getting the car turned in nicely. I guess there's a little bit of understeer mid corner, but yeah, it's fine. Q1 grip of course, going into turn 3, getting the rotation under braking, getting a little snap mid corner, using all the curb in the inside, fighting the car a little bit too much. Using the battery to 80%, going into sector 1 split now, 26.1 okay for sector. Barry does a 15.17, which is not very strong. As we go into middle sector now, the right wasn't too bad, opening the DRS now, going to second sector split, Nico Longa P1, 14.7, go into the fast chicane, 2.66 split, and we have a massive snap going into the chicane, which loses us a good amount of momentum on the exit, and we've lost a lot of time so far. Going into this corner, going very wide, having the rears maybe overheat slightly. Going into this set of 2 last corners, penultimate corner now, getting the car nicely hooked in, and now going into the last corner. You can see the car's sliding a lot, so I think that snap at the chicane really destroyed the rear tyres. We come across the line of 14.9, which is kind of disappointing, but I knew there was time in the lap. We had to go out again. So yeah, now we're going for another Q1 lap, which is far from ideal. We don't want to be doing that very often. So now starting our second lap, a bit more confidence now because we knew we could have stuck it onto the top with the first lap. So going to turn 1, getting turn 1 much nicer, getting already half a tenth. You can see the momentum just carrying on for the straight. Going into turn 3, a little bit understeer the apex, but we carried the minimum speed to get a lot better momentum through that left, and now going into the right-hand of middle sector, get a really good first sector split for Q1. We bought them out a lot in the inside curve. We didn't quite get the rotation that we were hoping for, and we lost quite a bit of time there, but all we need to do is just get the last sector right. So we know we've lost a lot of time at the chicane especially, as we gain a little bit of extra time. 2.04 split, and yeah, we get a much better. You can see the time gain already, because even with that snap at the chicane, you mainly lose a lot of it from the exit, and you go into this corner, getting the rotation very nicely. Tires are not in as bad shape as the last lap. Freddie Rasmussen goes into P1 as we go into the penultimate corner now, getting a little bump, which kind of hindered us inside of the car a little bit. Going into the last corner, opening up the DRS, getting that corner pretty well, coming across the line and setting P1 in our first lobby of Q1, and yeah, I was quite happy with that. That should have been what our first run was, but end of the day, I think our first run would have been through anyway. So the times were quite off. I think it was just due to people, you know, having quite a bit of a leg shake. The gaps were quite far, so give me confidence for Q2. We actually did a U-set run in Q2 and went P1. So at the moment, feeling really strong in this session. Just
okay, we've only
got to get the laps
lap
together, because obviously people are going to be nervous. And yeah, our delta is on a 14.9 on our U-set run, so we're aiming to be roughly 14.5 territory. So maybe like 4 temps on our delta as we go into turn 3, getting rotation very nicely once again, using all the curb. Didn't get a snap like we did in Q1. Going into this right, have to cut it to minimize the distance. Going into the first sector, we're actually slower than Q1, and then we have we have the same issue as we did in our final Q1 wrap, and bottom out on the inside curb with the fast right in sector 2. We lose a little bit of time once again to our U-set run, which is not ideal, but we lost a lot of time in our U-set run in the last sector, so our split's actually worse than we did in Q1, so that's not going the best at the moment. See, Barry done a 7-3, which is not that strong. Going into one of the slow speed right-handers, getting a rotation nicely, didn't use as much curb on the X as we could have. Flat out right, and now going into the penultimate corner, getting the rotation nicely, didn't get the bump like we did in Q1. Slightly wide on the apex of the final corner, but getting the rotation there, carrying the minimum speed very well. We come across the line, go P1. We actually went slower than we did in Q1, but it was enough for P2, and I think we did a really good Q1 lap because it was the quickest. It would have been P1 easily, so yeah, went out again because I didn't feel safe for that lap. Didn't feel like it was a strong lap, and now it's just time to full send because realistically I think I'm through, but you see, we absolutely get the rotation there in turn 1. Not perfect, but decent enough. We're mashing our delta, going into turn 3, braking as late as we can, getting a little bit of entry understeer, but we carried the speed very well. Getting, not using as much curb as we wanted to, but still gaining that time because we carry that minimum speed very high as we go into the first sector split now. 9-9, which is not too bad, and we get the curb so much better. Not perfect, a little bit understeer on the mid corner part, but still we're getting the rotation perfectly as we go into the second sector split. 10th up on our delta, which would easily have put us through. 1-2 split, going into the fast chicane, slightly wide on the first left, but getting the rotation nicely for the right. You have to cut it a lot, but it's very risky to cut. Going into the final sector now, slow speed right hander, getting the rotation absolutely perfectly, using more curb on the exit, carrying more momentum. Flat out right hander, not much to gain, just tight as possible. Going into the penultimate corner now, braking as late as you can, getting the rotation nicely, getting on the throttle as early as you can. 4th gear short shift, and now opening the DRS, spinning the battery across the line, and we do a 5-9-0, which easily put us through to Q3, and I was happy with this because, yeah, our first lap would have easily been through, as you can see. You know, I was kind of surprised by the times, but Disma cooked as well. Good job from him, and he goes P1 in Q2. And our teammate Fabrizio Donoso in P13. He had unfortunate RNG on the first sector, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it can happen to anyone. As you saw, Alfie was out in Q1 as well. So anything can happen. Just keep his head high, and yeah, let's see what happens in Q3. We're actually on our final run. Sorry to say, I forgot that I had just a final run. So yeah, straight to it because we had a U-set run. And we completely die at turn 1, and we've lost a 10th turn 1 already, and we're down on our U-set run, which is 14-7. So we need to peak the rest of the lap, getting the rotation not very nicely on that exit curb. We lose a lot of time in the first sector. You see what our first split is? That's 26.01, so we've lost a 10th and a half in the first, getting a big snap at the right. So we absolutely need to send it for the last sector, because the first 2 sectors have gone very, just okay, just not good. We've lost 2 tenths on our lap already. Going into this fast left-hander, sending it like crazy, gaining a little bit of time, but it's still not enough for a comfortable pole position. Going into this right, getting the rotation absolutely nicely, getting the throttle on as early as you can, flat out corner, trying to take it as tight as possible, using the curb a little bit and settle the car, going into penultimate, and we absolutely nail it, and getting on the throttle as early as you can, coming around the final corner. Short shift 4th once again, and we absolutely nailed the last sector, coming across the line to set it on provisional pole position. Can anyone beat that? Freddie Rasmussen beats it by half a tenth. And Josh Idu comes across the line, doesn't beat our lap. Can anybody beat our lap today? Danny Beresnay, Ismail Fassi beats it by 3 thousandths to Freddie Rasmussen and beats us as well. And Thomas Ronard, P6. Now we've got the 2 Merc guys about to come across the line and see what lap time he does. This fan P5 and Danny Beresnay P8. So 3rd on our first show in quali, not too bad. There's so much time in the lap, but yeah, not too bad for our first session. The times weren't that good, to be fair, so I had a lot of confidence for the race, and yep, let's move on. You can see we're sat in the pit, well, on the grid, but yep, it's gonna be interesting. Lots of drivers on the medium hard strategy, lots of people on the hard medium as well, so let's see what happens. And our first race in F1 Sim Racing is about to start, and we go, and we get a pretty decent start to Freddy, all top 5 on mediums. And you can see Ismail's pushing him, and we're going to try and go around the outside of Freddy, and we have to back out because he's going to be very risky. Don't want to take too much risks in our first race. We just want to get a good result as we can, because it's not the win that you absolutely need in esports. You need the consistency. We get a little tap from Barry behind, and now he's getting under pressure by Thomas, but Thomas has gained, I think, 3 positions, because he's going to get the inside of Barry through this right, and he's now P4. So we all know how quick Thomas is in the race and how aggressive he can be, so it's going to be very dangerous behind, and my job is just to hold this position now, just relax on the tyres. Now it's time to save ERS. You've got Freddy and Isma in front of me, and this is probably the best position to just save tyres, because when you want to make the overtake, you can just push Freddy into overtaking Isma. So at the moment it's just chill. You just gotta relax. You gotta obviously keep 2 eyes on the back of your head also, because the gaps are so close, you can easily get caught napping. So main thing is we just relax in this first stint, tyre save as much as we can, play it smart, and be aware that anything can happen. So we need to be hyper-focused. And there you can see DRS enabled, which is different compared to last season, last esports, because esports would be DRS be enabled on lap 3, and now it's lap 1. So it could be interesting. Obviously on the esports build we have a lot more dirty air, but we move on to lap 7. Nothing really happened in the first stint, so skipped. I didn't really want to waste you guys' time, so now we got Thomas behind. You see Freddy is kind of backing off, I think, to try and leave a gap to Isma, because he wants to keep this P2 for the entire stint. And I'm burning my battery, and at the middle of the straight I just stopped, because there's no point. It's very hard to overtake at Australia, as probably you guys know. So going to chicane, and my idea here is to get a really good run on the exit. And you can see Thomas behind kind of forces us to burn our battery, and now we've got to go around the outside, get boxed in by Isma and Freddy, and now we've got Thomas Runner down our inside, and it's going to be very hard to keep this position on the outside. Dirty Air is very bad on the outside, so we're going to lose a lot of time, get a lot of understeer, a lot of wash, and now trying to break as late as we can, but we have to leave Thomas space, and he's gone cleaner on the outside, and he's got the move, and fair play to him. He caught us at the right time. You know, we kind of got a bit unlucky with the positioning, but yeah, is what it is. And now we just got to keep 3-4. It's not a bad position. Anything can still happen in this race, so we got to keep our eyes glued and head down, because this is a very random series. You never know who's gonna win. So yeah, main thing is we just keep doing what we're doing at the moment. The pace is fine. I was on Freddy's rear for a lot of it, so pace is not absolutely there. It's just we got kind of caught lacking. But now just chilling. You can see Thomas also pushing his battery a little bit to try and get past Isma. Skip all the way to lap 9. I believe Danny Berezney's boxed, so he's gone for a really big undercut. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what everyone else does, because we're going to have to react. And now you see we're going to come around the penultimate corner, and everyone pits on lap 9. And this is interesting, because I think about 7 cars are boxed. You can see by the broadcast camera, we don't have the turn-in thing, we just have the broadcast in the pits. But you see loads of people have boxed. I think Brendan is boxed, Thomas is boxed. I'm surprised Kick double stacked. Yeah, let's see what happens. See Danny Berezney undercut. He was like P8 in the train, and now he's net P2. So he's gained so many positions by doing the undercut, and it's played so beautifully for him. And now we're net P5, and you all know from this track how hard it is to overtake. It's going to be very difficult to gain positions from here on. We just got to save tires as much as we can and hope for chaos, because there's so many long straights and not very heavy braking zones. So it's going to be very tough. You see I'm burning the battery to try and get past Thomas, but then he starts using the battery, so it's literally going to be impossible. It'd be very stupid of me to send it. But you can see Isma and Freddy battling for position, and it's going to be crucial for the race win for both of them to keep their position, because Danny Bresnay is P1. And you see Isma run the outside of Freddy, and Thomas can try and capitalise it. So we're going to just try and save as much battery as we can. You hope for the best, and Isma gets past Freddy, which is super crucial for his race. And yeah, now we're just got to hold our battery. We got Barry behind also, also one aggressive driver, fantastic driver as well. So yeah, keep our eyes peeled. Also, Fab also boxed my teammate. He's also come for kind of an undercut, overcut on some of the drivers. You can see we're trying to catch Thomas napping. You can see he went into non-ERS, and now we're trying to go clean around the outside, getting the braking very nicely. And now outside turns to the inside, and now it goes back to the outside. We go side by side with Thomas, but we kind of get nearly shoved into the wall, which was obviously, there was nothing wrong with it. At the end of the day, we're both fighting for position, and we both was entitled to the corner, but those are one of the corners where it's very hard to leave room, so nothing wrong on that part. And now we've just got to make sure we hold the position to Barry, and now just try not to get too, try not to take too much risk, because one risk and you could be out of the points. And yeah, now it's just time to relax for a minute. Just keep Barry behind, just skip all the way to lap 16. See, nothing really happened. A lot of the hard medium guys pit. We're coming through the pack. You see Barry burning his battery, so we're gonna make sure we don't get caught napping by him, and he sends it down the inside. Pretty good move on us. We've got to try and keep the inside line, and we get so much better of a run. But he's still side by side with us going into this next right, and we get a warning. It's our second warning, I'm pretty sure, of the lap, because we actually got one at turn 1, which is not what you really want. Well, obviously that warning probably could get removed, but yeah, don't want to get too much more of that. I'll just skip all the way to lap 17, middle sector. Nothing happened near end of the for the rest of the last lap, if I can speak English. You see Thomas Ronard trying to go down the inside of Freddie Rasmussen in the chicane, but he backs off, thinks better of it. A very dangerous corner, of course, to send move. And you see I'm trying to push Thomas into burning battery, trying to make a move on Freddie, but it doesn't plan out the way I wanted it to. So now we're just going to sit behind it once again, save battery, and yeah, trying to capitalize on things that happen in front of me, but try to keep an eye on the back of my head also. We skip all the way to 21. Nothing happened once again, but also Isfan got past Barry, but now Isfan also went for 2-lap overcut on us on the medium hard strategy, so he's going running outside. We kind of squeeze him a little bit. We had to go down the inside of Thomas, which is kind of awkward, and Isfan's got the fresher tires and got the inside line and just gets past us. And now it's going to be very hard to keep the medium runners behind. We've got to try and save our battery and save our tires as much as we can. You can see Tom Manley behind. We've got to make sure we keep track position until the point where those mediums die off. We know how quick Yano is as well, and how long he goes for, or how long he goes on the strategy.
Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit
it's
line
been very
as you approach,
dangerous.
and make sure you
He's
don't
always very
speed.
low wing especially, so yeah, main thing is now we gotta keep eyes on the back of our head, because it's not gonna be very easy to overtake. It's funny to see Freddy and Thomas going at it, going side by side. You see Isfan trying to capitalize it on as well, but now it's good. This is one of the hardest parts of being a driver in F1 Sim Racing, is that also you want to go for the guys in front, but you also have to watch out for the guys behind. And as you can see, Isfan goes on the inside of Freddy at turn 1. We try and capitalize on that, burn our battery a lot. We're trying to get in the slipstream of Freddy, trying to break as deep as we can. His fan kind of left the door open around the outside, so we're going to use that space. But we get a massive snap on the exit and lose all our momentum, and now we're once again on the back foot, because we got probably Tom Manley was saved a bit of his battery behind, so we just got to try to save as much battery, because Tom Manley can't overtake us through this fast right-hander. So once again, spamming the battery. You can see he's on the battery as much as he can, but the nature of this track, you just physically can't overtake him. He's off the battery, and this is perfect because we can save that little bit extra ERS. You can see he's gained quite a lot, and now you see Freddy is struggling a little bit on his tyres. He just doesn't have the grip. You can see Thomas Runner, we skip a little bit, Thomas Runner and this fan are battling. Yano actually got past Tom Manley, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. You can see Yano behind once again. One of the strongest things about Yano, he always catches you napping, and just one thing you need to learn when you're driving with him is that you need to be focused like crazy. And now Yano's trying to push me into overtaking Freddy. We kind of dummy Freddy to the inside, break as deep as we can around the outside. We've got the inside line for the next corner, and we just have so much more grip. He kind of goes off the track a little bit. I think it was to let Yano through, so got the move done on Freddy, which was very good overtake. And now keep the composure now. Got to focus for another six laps, and yeah, just got to save the battery once again. We're very low on batteries, so Yano couldn't use that to overtake us, so we always got to make sure we're well prepared to fight them off. You can see we skip all the way on to penultimate lap, the last lap now. Absolutely nothing happened. I just saved battery. Yano's tyres were kind of starting to fade, so he wasn't really threatening me as much. You see his fan on none ERS trying to save as much battery because he knows it's going to be a crazy fight for the lead. Danny Berezne, Ismail Fassi and Thomas Rona are all fighting for this race win. So it's going to be very hectic, and we just always got to try and capitalize on every moment and every opportunity we have. Going into the middle sector for the final time of this lap, burning our battery. But we also got to think, we got to save some for the next straight, because anything can happen. You see Ismail goes around the outside and takes the lead, so Ismail probably going to win the race. But Thomas is going to go for an interesting move at the chicane, goes on the inside of Danny Berezne. They lose so much time because they make contact, and we can capitalize on this, get our first podium possibly in F1 Sim Racing, and we try and break deep around the outside, and we have too high brake bias. I forgot to change it, and then we went very deep, and that means Yano could get past us, and we've gone back to P5 once again, and we could have easily got a podium if we just did the corner normally. But it's so unfortunate, and we have to finish in P5 today. And GG to Ismail, he wins the race. And,
on to the next one.
yeah, that's my debut race in F1 Sim Racing. Not really how I hoped it to be. I wish I didn't brake too late. But yeah, those mistakes happen. You know, main thing is we learn. I think I broke it a little bit too late going into the thing. It's like the 5th last corner, but yeah, GG's Ismail, he did a great job. He drove the best all race, so hats off to him. But anyway, thank you all for watching, everyone. I haven't made one of these videos for a while, so I might be a little bit rusty if you couldn't tell, but anyway, thanks guys for watching. See you guys in the next F1 Sim Racing highlight video. Bye bye.